You help many players like to international things. Can you name a few?
Some of the guys, I've forgotten their name just because of how they've handled some of the situations, not saying thank you, stuff like that. But one of the most memorable guys, and he's still playing to this day, I would have to say Tracy Robinson. If you take one name, that would be the most important name, because Tracy was grateful. And it's not like I was a messiah. I mean, I happened to be hurt, and the team agreed to say, hey, we believe in what you're saying, we'll bring this kid you're talking about. And he came, he was respectful on the court, off the court, he was focused, he did an amazing job. He earned himself another chance to play in Finland, another 2 years actually, and since then this kid has been in South America winning championships.
Yeah.
So I would say Tracy. I can name a couple other guys. There was Zach Ramey, who played a couple seasons here in lower divisions. I might have helped 6 guys in total. And I wind up having to quit to do it because in order to be FIBA accredited, you have to basically not hold any position anywhere in basketball. And so I thought coaching was more important to me than being an agent. And that's what I just stopped the focus, because I was going to do the study and get accredited and all that stuff. So I just gave it up. But most importantly, I got one guy out of that I can have a successful story. His name is Tracy Robinson from Chicago. But him and him alone, I would have to say, the best experience, yeah. And so I was trying to grab those guys and give them a chance, because there were enough coaches here who believed in what I said. If I said, you know, would back me and bring the kid over.
You learned something from Jordan, but tell me more about the experience, like training with Michael Jordan.
It was funny. I mean, I got a call one day. I had just come back from Mexico. I just won the championship there. Been back 2 weeks. Got a call from Steve Bardo, who played at University of Illinois, who was a color commentator on Channel 5 News in Chicago. And he just said, hey, why don't you want to come down to this gym? We're going to play some pickup. So I was like, okay. You know, I got there. I had brought my best friend who doesn't really play, but he was going to play. And security guy came in with Steve and he said, hey, you know, your friend's gonna have to leave. And I said, you know, can he just watch? And this was, I think I got back in late December. This was the second week in January. And he says, you know, Michael Jordan's coming in. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Sure enough, Jordan comes in. And this is, like I said, early January. And we're playing pickup games. And I'm kind of like, oh my God, it's Jordan right there. And I don't think the first 2 or 3 times I didn't say a word to him. And during those few weeks of playing, it was more his friends, football guys, a couple guys who had played basketball who weren't playing. So it was like the beginning of him coming out of retirement that particular year. And I remember going home like, man, you'll never believe I'm playing with Jordan. The next day I was there early, I started playing, and you know, every day I was there. And when I wasn't picked to play in those games, I was on the side, I was shooting every day. And just watching, you know, going early and watching him doing the training, and that's why I saw the focus and all that. And then as it started moving towards summer, top college guys started getting invited in there. And then the NBA season was over, and you know, March, April, those guys started to come. And I was still going there, and you know, every day I made sure I never played on his team.
Yeah.
And you know, some of the games, it was phenomenal, man. It was close. Nobody could get in there. No media, no nothing. It was amazing. It was amazing to play and to see what we get to see in these videos on the internet, but to feel it, like to feel. Giving him a shove was like, you know, hitting a rock. You know, watching him do drills with Tim Grover, his trainer at the time, you just see there was so much attention to detail and focus that what he was doing in those games was like you know, he was writing it in those practices, and you, as a kid, you start to absorb it because, you know, even though I was 20-something, I'm still a kid. It was phenomenal. It changed my life. It changed everything. It just didn't work out at the right timing that I took, you know, the final position on the team, but from all that experience and going to the NBA camps and playing in the summer league and, you know, being around draft picks and all that stuff, really changed my focus and understanding of what could be possible from basketball, because I wasn't a top recruit. I had to call a couple universities and ask for a scholarship. Just so happened I went and tried out and beat a kid and they gave me one to UIC, but seeing that was really key. And I think, you know, one kid at a time or one gym at a time where the right coach is creating the right environment in Finland is what puts us towards that experience like what I had there. And that type of experience is what put me forward in basketball. And if we can do that same wheel here, create that kind of hotbed, we get more players, more success out of Finland. And while I'm here and I'm in basketball, which is probably what I'm always going to do, that's the task, period. That's what I want to see happen.
So is it also like now that you're taking the girls to Chicago, you want to give them that experience, you know?
Give them that experience. So one of them could say, hey, I'll go to school. And maybe they go and maybe they stay and now they experience that. And the next girl can say, hey, and maybe they go play pro international. Maybe they come back here. Or maybe they don't. But they can at least have enjoyed something that basketball can offer. So that's basically it. And I have 2 daughters, so of course it's and neither one have played basketball, so yeah, but maybe the youngest will. Who knows?
One question about Jordan. Was it hard to play with him because he's so good? Or play against him?
It was funny to see because we started in early January. As the time went on into the summer and going into like rookie camp and summer league and then veterans camp, to see his progression from when he wasn't playing and then it started to come. I mean, you're talking about a beast. And what we call in basketball, a beast, a man-child. I mean, a fifth wonder of the world type of deal. So I forgot the question, but I'm going back visualizing. I can actually see the moments in my head, but.
Yeah, was it hard to play with him because he's so good?
Yeah, it was. But at that time, I was at my highest level. So I was pretty damn good. And I had to be to get the invite and, you know, to actually get a contract from the NBA. So, and in my own competitive mind, of course, I had the utmost respect for him because he represented everything basketball was to me. Because being a Chicago kid and growing up and idolizing the 23 jersey. That being said, I still didn't respect anybody that stood in front of me. I still had a vision of cockiness that I could beat you type of deal. But it didn't happen very, very often that our team, and most of everything we did there was 5 against 5, would win against whoever he had on his team at the time. But that level of playing has set, like now when I play, it's almost like, okay, nobody's in front of me because of who was in front of me before. Like, I don't see the same level there. Yes, you might be able to strategically hinder me, but in my own perception, I don't see you as Michael Jordan, who was there before, so I think I can do whatever I want. That's probably why I still play at this age, but yeah, fierce competitor.
Yeah. What year was this?
01?
01?
Yeah, I think it was 01.
Okay. All right.
Shortly after I left here, actually,
Yeah.
So I left here in 2000, went to Mexico, finished there early 01, and that all happened in 01.
All right, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Go.